So this is a Grixis Dragons submission. So we've got both copies of Nicol, Bolas, some Ritual of Soot, some Thought Erasure, some Bonecrushers, just lots of good, clean interaction. We've got Dragon's Hoard here as a source of mana fixing and also some card advantage with these Dragon Planeswalkers. We got all the good Grixis adventure creatures, so let's go ahead and dive on into some matches and see how it goes. We just had two fast moto leagues, Rook. One of the downsides of Magic Online is the way the league system works and how long the matches take sometimes. It's hard for me to really control exactly how long we play a deck for. Whereas with Magic Arena, it's a lot easier to say, okay, we're going to play this deck for, 75 minutes or so. I think I'm going to keep this. The question is, what am I bottoming? I think I'm bottoming Ravager here. Yeah, I'm just bottoming Bedevil. This is 2, 3, 4, 5 technically. If you look on perfect, nothing but net. If you look on the Moto Challenge results, Fox, he top 8'd one of the challenge tournaments with it, with 4 empty. Why not Bolas Planes? I mean, we're playing the Bolas Planeswalker. It's right here. As always, I'd encourage you, instead of asking me questions like, why not X? Instead, think about it for yourself and tell me why we should do something else. Is Thassa's Oracle a better Laboratory Maniac? It's very similar, right? Yeah, if we hit an untapped land here, Dragon God's gonna be real good. His opponent spent a lot of resources already, and we're still at 20. Oh, it does win without another draw spell. Yeah, you're right. That's probably better in a lot of those shells. Light them up. They're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 do, 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 do. You don't need to maintain devotion, though, is what they're saying, Justin. Because if your deck is empty, you win with it automatically. Yeah, if your deck is empty, X can be 0 and you win the game, right? So yeah, I think that observation that card's just going to be better than Lab Maniac is probably accurate. I'm going to plus this first before I Surveil, because we could draw a 5-drop. They're down to 4 lands here, and I have Shock, and we're still at 9, so I feel like we actually have a pretty good shot here. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that? I don't know. Aether Gust sounds good. Murderous Rider sounds good. Bedevil might be okay. Brazen Borrower may or may not be bad. They probably have Chain Whirler, right? This deck would love to play the new Ashiok. The new Ashiok's going to be an instant staple in all these blue-black mid-range style decks, I think. Card seems very, very good. Probably trim some of these Thought Erasures on the draw and just bring in more cards that play to the board. Honestly, Erasure, Brazen Borrower might be better than Erasure. This at least impacts the board. Yeah, I think I like that. Sure. Oh, man, that's kind of awkward here, huh? Is it just bottom Sarkhan so we can guarantee Skarrgan Hellkite so we can guarantee cast our spells? Mind if I ping you on Discord for your thoughts, the immediate changes you made to your deck before? You mean this deck? Is that, you're asking about changes I made to this deck? I mean, redrawing this card is, like, fine here. Because, like, we only bottomed it because I wanted to keep my... I don't know. Like, if you have a question about a specific change, Man Sculptor, feel free to ask here. Mostly just, like, added constructed playable cards. Like, for example, I think playing a red deck in Magic right now and not playing for Bonecrusher Giants is probably just wrong. I think if there are red cards in your deck, you should probably have 4 Bonecrusher Giants in most cases. Let's send that one back from whence it came. I think I'm just playing this out as a 5/5. Yeah, in EDH you should only have 1. I am not blocking that if they attack. They didn't attack. Well, that's good for me. Good beats, good beats. Alright, we started on the Diamond 4 rank floor. Let's see how high we can get today. I think both the decks we're playing today are probably pretty okay. With the hot take on Legacy Rug Delver, I think that card actually might be fine in Legacy. Vintage might be a push. I bet Bonecrusher is great in Legacy. EDH stands for Elder Dragon Highlander. It's another name for Commander. It's what Commander started off as. I think I mulligan this on the play, just like missing a color and no third land. Yeah, Dragon Hoard I could take or leave. I like that it's fixing. The color requirements in this deck are pretty heavy. Oh gosh, it's gotta be absurd in the red prison deck we used to play, huh? I gotta imagine that deck wants 3 or 4 crushers. I think she's very comparable to Garrick, Curse Hunter, who doesn't see much play. I think your observation is very short-sighted and doesn't consider doesn't take color pie considerations into impact. A Rock, thanks for the Brandy Prime Sport. Welcome to Hooglandia. In fact, rather than just repeat myself, I'd encourage you to read my article on Cool Stuff Inc. that went up today. My article on Cool Stuff Inc. highlights very succinctly why I think the new Ashiok is good. The difference, one thing I think enough newer players don't consider when evaluating cards too, I think your comparison to Garrick is very, very bad because 6 versus 5 is a big deal. For every additional mana a card costs in the mid to late game, the more drawback the less likely you are to hit it. So like, you're far less, the difference between casting a 5-drop and a 6-drop on curve is bigger than the difference between casting a 4-drop and a 5-drop on curve. Is a playable Grixis deck? I mean, we're playing it. I don't know about playable. We're currently playing games with it. I think I'm just passing here. I think we're just passing here. Hey, thanks for the 12 months to support Boo Shoes. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Never forget when you're making recommendations of cards to add to decks. Oh, well, I guess I could have just done this last turn, huh? Awkward. Dead to Questing Beast here. Just saying a card looks good in a deck is not a reason to play it. Magic's a game with near infinite combinations of cards that you could put in a deck. You need to have some kind of meaningful way to narrow down what you're playing and what you're not playing, and looks good in the deck is not a good metric. Ideally, again, if you listen to how we talk about things on the stream, you want to be identifying a problem and then figuring out a solution for that problem. So rather than just thinking about cards that potentially look good, think about issues that the deck has and how changes that you're looking to make can solve those problems potentially. I'm watching every morning when I get off work. It's important to support people that give us content. I watch a lot of your YouTube stuff. P.S. I was sold when you gave us your political opinions. Thanks for the support, Rock. I appreciate you keeping me around. As long as folks like you are sending me Prime or otherwise, I'll be here doing what I do. All right, what else are we trimming here? I feel like some Thought Erasure to like take swords on occasion is good. Is it crazy to cut Ritual of Soot here? I feel like I often need to kill their things on the spot. While this is a nice catch-up card from behind, I feel like a better plan is just don't get behind. This might be wrong. I think Embercleave is less straightforward than Bonecrusher as far as an auto-include. I agree with your assessment that, like, if you're a red aggressive deck and, like, have a good number of creatures, considering some Embercleave is probably good. We had one bad Pioneer deck, and we had, a good aggro deck. So, like, one of them wasn't great, but another one was good and just fast. I think we 4-1'd with Feather in, like, an hour and a half. At the start of the Eldrine season, you explained how adventure cards like Bonecrusher are good because they fill 2 spots on your curve, and I think about that almost any time I see it played. Yeah, like, the adventure cards, not only do they fill 2 spots on your curve, but you have to think about, like, Bonecrusher Giant, for example, basically cantrips, right? Bonecrusher Giant is a 2-mana shock that always draws a 4/3 is the best way to think about it, in my opinion. Oh, they have Phoenix here, too. That's a great reason to have Thought Erasure. Timothy, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm going to bin this for now. I'm not really interested in another land, and when I do find a land, I'd kind of like it to be a second red source so we can eventually cast Skarrgan Hellkite. Yeah, maybe there was a resource efficiency argument for grasping. I don't know. Grasp kills larger creatures like 4/4s, whereas Shock doesn't always. Like, if I know the texture of their hand, I think I'm more inclined to Noxious Grasp there. But because I don't know their hand, I think I like my play. You're much more afraid of Cleveland. Yeah, kind of. So, like, Cleveland we can kind of keep in check by just killing their board. The fact that they drew running Spellbreakers here was super unfortunate for us. I think we're probably just dead. Our answers are not lining up very well into their threats this game, especially their threats that came off the top. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's good, right? I get to do this, and then I get to do this. I guess. The problem is we're, like, going to 6, and they're, like, deploying a Pelt Collector here. So I need to, like, draw a 2-mana removal spell, plus play Bonecrusher next turn, and maybe we can be in the game from there. Maybe. Yeah, we're very dead. Grixis is losing to Girl. Grixis is losing to Efficient Aggro, right? The Girl deck. Girl decks have always been good at giving these control decks fits. It definitely hasn't changed over time. Well, we're on the draw. Maybe we'll draw a Shockland on one. Hey, Andrew. Thanks for a couple of sub-gifties. Loved the decidedly veil shade in your article. Thanks, I try. I try. I wasn't sure if my editor would leave that in there or catch it, but I decided to throw it in. Oh, right. This triggers this. That was a thing in Standard for a hot second. All right. One of your finest lands, please. Well, you know, we tried. feels Grixis, man. Feels Grixis. Can't beat either card. Both cards get back the so like if I take Dread Hoard, the Cavalier gets back Dread Hoard. If I take Cavalier, Dread Hoard gets back Cavalier. Man, this Thought Erasure card sucks, chat. Why do people play Thought Erasure? I have like a sense of hope before I cast this Thought Erasure. And once I cast the Thought Erasure, just like all delusions of possibly having a chance just like go out the window. You know, just, you know, ignorance is bliss, chat. Ignorance is bliss. Ego for Dreadheart. I don't know, maybe. I probably want Noxious Grasp against their deck full of green things. Ritual of Soot's good against Risen Reef, Mana Dorks, and the Explorer package. Shock's probably not stellar. Probably don't need to ramp. Let's try this, I guess. My strategy in the matchup is hope they mess up with Dreadhorde and kill themselves. I think Ashiok is going to be, again, like just focusing on what problems do my decks have and how do I find solutions to those problems. I think Ashiok does a good job of answering the question, how does blue-black deal with artifacts, and how does blue-black deal with enchantments and stuff like that. Hey, Wee McGee, thanks for the 1.5 years. Welcome back. Are there any sites that have the historic meta? Some of the deck trackers probably have the closest thing to relevant, I might imagine, but the good data just doesn't exist. Like, good data for Magic in general doesn't exist, and for historic, it exists even less. And again, one of the things that I see pretty commonly done in the Magic community that's very bad is a lot of people incorrectly make the assumption that bad data is better than no data, and that really just couldn't be further from the truth. Frequently having bad data is worse than having no data. You're gonna try and draw conclusions that are incorrect and make mistakes because of it. Alright, so I think I kill this Reef, and then I can take this Branchwalker out back and drown it in the Loch. Bolas is not bad here. I think I just get him into play and get him ticking up. I could Bonecrusher plus hold Stroke for this, but I think sticking this while they're tapped out is probably ideal.
My schemes are never ending.
Why is the data bad? Can we interpret it differently? The data is bad because, okay, so people incorrectly correlate decks top 8ing Magic tournaments with those decks performing well at those tournaments. And that's just like not how it works. Like for example, if half of a tournament is playing the same copy of a deck, the same archetype, and that deck, that archetype puts 50% of the decks in the top 8, that deck isn't actually that good. In fact, it just performed average because you expect a deck that's half the room to be more than half the top 8 if that deck is actually good. You frequently need to know the win rate of Magic decks to really judge their power in a non-biased manner, and we don't have access to win rate data from most Magic tournaments. Another thing that a lot of people don't understand is that for any format that's on Magic the Gathering Online, all of the data for that format on sites like MTG Goldfish and MTG Top 8 is artificially diverse because Wizards of the Coast artificially diversifies it. All data that includes Magic Online leagues is made artificially diverse by Wizards of the Coast to make it more difficult for players to understand what's going on in the formats.
You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
PTs have some win rate data, but even that there gets skewed a bit by the fact that Limited is mixed in with it too. So they only have 6 lands, so if I play Nikki B here, they can't Hostage Taker and cast him in the same turn, so I think that's fine. So I should go Bolas plus Bonecrusher here. Yeah, that's true too. There's a lot of variables you can't account for, like player skill. You can't, it's hard to account for matchup variance. I don't know how we're ever gonna grind this out. Well, I guess I can flip this, huh? That could go a little bit towards it. Do I just like shoot this and then flip this? I think that's the play. Put what you want on top. We'll smack them for 8, flip this over. They're putting Find on top, so they can pick some Hydroid Crisis back up. I think I want to just draw 2 cards here. Double Bolas might be able to grind through their pile of value here. We'll see. Hydroid Crisis is nothing to scoff at. I assume they're just going to play this out right away. Oh, they could theoretically stop my Dragon God, but that's not very good because I just get to bring the Dragon God back with Nicol Bolas. Bolas reanimates Bolas. He's a real bro. And just like got his own back. Baby got back. Would I rather have them exile a card or draw an extra card myself? I think I'd rather have them exile a card. Although plussing this an extra 1 loyalty is something to consider too. Dorian Costly, thanks for 11 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. To keeping me around. I'm gonna give this a counter. Drop this into play tapped and pass. We can Murderous Rider their Hydroid Grixis. Oh, that was a misclick. They definitely intended to do that for 6, I think. Yeah, +2 does get me to an ultimate faster. You're not wrong. I know that Pioneer has now been aligned. I know Pioneer has now on the normal ban list cycle update, but I would expect more changes to the format between now and after the next Players Tour, the first Players Tour event. What do I even want to do here? I just have so many different options. It's probably just start by drawing 2 cards.
Everything is power, and I am everything.
Okay, it's a great pickup. In for a Bedevil. Alright. If Grixis, if we can't manage to win this game, I feel like we should take our deck and throw it away. So notable here that they need red mana to cast this Bonecrusher. Let's kill their Risen Reef in response here, so that way they don't draw a card with this. And they're dead next turn. Yeah, chat, they're not never going to ban something from the format again. So this past Monday, yesterday, was the last Pioneer-only ban list update. So Pioneer will still get regular updates just like every other format in Magic. So they said yesterday that this coming Monday the 13th would be an all format update, which will include Pioneer. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Like it is, I appreciate that. Welcome. Whatever survives the first Players Tour event, I think will likely be safe. Correct, yes. Yeah, they were in the last scheduled ban list update, they banned scheduled ban list updates. So they can kind of just drop updates on anything whenever they want moving forward, which I think is a good thing overall. Means we hopefully want it to sit and have formats rot like we did a little bit with Standard. Why do all the blue-green cards look push? Because they are. Because they are. Yes, yesterday was the last this is only a Pioneer update. Yes, yeah, couldn't say it better myself. Having to wait for an obvious ban is really bad. Don't need another Ritual of Soot. Looking for a land here. You think Heliod plus Ballista is worth a preemptive ban? I do. If I was in charge, I would preemptively ban the Heliod Ballista. I would pre-ban Ballista. I'm not in charge though, so Hard to say exactly what they're going to do. Black Source. Alright, it's better than missing a land drop, I guess. Can I vote for Mono Black Control in Historic as a Prime sub? Full details on how my deck queue system work can be found here. Prime subs are welcome to add decks to the queue, just like any other sub. Prime subs and tier 1 subs are identical on my content. They all, those, as far as Twitch goes, those types of subs are worth the same amount of support to a streamer. I think I just Ravager here. Do you want to, like, get a threat into play? Notable here that Mr. Bolas does not die to the old Ritual of Soot here, which is great. And then we can take Questing Beast out back and drown him in the Loch. Although I probably want to just Disdainful Stroke this, huh? Because they have 6 cards in their bin, so drowning the Loch's just more flexible at this point. Alright, I think we're just like, here there be dragons, try and run them down, right? Want to try and pressure their life total to make their Command the Dread Hoard bad. Get the game over with. Showing some of that aggressive closing power that this deck has. Feels good. Their deck definitely has more values than value in it than ours does. But we can run them down on occasion. Yeah, maybe we do want some Sarkhan in here. Being able to close is great. I like actually being able to kill people. We'll try like a pair of 5-mana Sarkhans. Massacre Girl. That could be a card worth playing. I don't hate Massacre Girl as an idea. Brazen Borrowers felt a little mediocre. So attempted Jund, mid-range / walkers yet. I don't think we've done Jund in Historic. If I recall correctly. Some amount of Massacre Girl could be good. The Girl matchup did not seem easy. Let's try this. Nah, I really don't think 4-mana Sarkhan is very good. He just gets attacked by a lot. He's a 3-mana Planeswalker that only goes to 4 loyalty when he blesses. And this deck in the early turns is frequently using its life total as a resource, which means that a Planeswalker that we play early is just going to be susceptible to getting attacked down. I know they put some cards in Historic on a suspended list. Any words we know if they're out of detention or not. We're supposed to know, I believe, by the beginning of March what gets banned and what gets returned to us in Historic. Hopefully they shift delete Once Upon a Time as well as Veil out of existence. But I would kind of like Field of the Dead and maybe Oko back to play a little bit. Pretty sure we're supposed to mulligan this. This seems fine. Lands are a little awkward. Currently missing double black. Unprint once upon a time, yeah. Oh, speaking of Nexus, I tweeted that after we signed off yesterday. I really hope they ban Nexus of Fate in this format. Did y'all see the new stupid giant that got spoiled that's gonna make Nexus just even more rancid? I'm gonna pull it up because I'm upset. All I'm saying is, if this card Nexus is left legal with this card in Historic, it's really not gonna be okay. It's this is not even remotely close to okay. What if Nexus was cheaper and uncounterable? What if? Right on time, 2-mana spell. All right, I think I just have to... I think I'm just playing a removal spell this turn, and then next turn can be removal spell plus Thought Erasure. So we're going to take 6 total here, down to 8. They do have Cleveland. So we're going to take 8 total down to 6. Sorry, 10 total. Vomit. It's weird, Eternal Witness. I think it's strange that they did nothing yesterday. It's a real shame I can't afford... It's a real shame I can't afford to Bedevil the Embercleave here, because I die. I think we're just dead anyways, though, right? I have to, like, draw a removal spell. Well, that's great. Okay, was that one of the best draws in my deck? I feel like it was. Stomp you. My body is ready for them to have a shock and for me to tilt off the face of the planet. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Gurmgully. Non-humans get a 1/1 counter. Alright, flip it good. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Beep, beep, beep. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do. Asinine Panda, thank you for the card over here. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Don't haste me, bro. Don't haste me, bro. Don't do it. Have a heart. Alright, that's a haste creature that at least can't get Embercleave equipped to it this turn, so we got that going for it. I think I double stomp this, cast Bonecrusher Giant is the line. This plays around some of their haste threats. Play a land. For the lurve of Gerd, play a land. For the lurve of Gerd.
This is a match.
All right, we stole game 1 against Gruul. That bodes well for us. One life confirmed, not 0. This seems good. Let's try this. I love you, wife, but you're very annoying. Shouldn't you be working or something? Massacre Girl seems sketchy with their low number of X1s. I mean, they're often going to have a Paradise Druid in play. Thank you, Ice Sticks. This deck is gas. It's something. It's definitely on fire. Hopefully it's just, like, not going to burn us. She likes to remind me that I'm old, chat. Does that make you 51? It does make me 51, Marty. It's pretty close to dead. Basically, knocking on heaven's door. Alright, so I think we just take the Hellkite here. Would love a 3rd land on top of my deck. But Jeff, can we use these biddies to bump Naya, Feather, and Pioneer? First time buying bits on the computer, so much cheaper. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Alcohol. Oh, as a heads up, we actually played Naya Feather this morning. So if you'd like to bump something else, let me know. Or I think there's Red White Feather back in the queue. Is Red White Feather back in there? Yeah, Red White Feather is waiting to be played again. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's me play a 2-3 next turn. How competitive do you feel Naya Feather is? I think the Feather decks are very good in Pioneer. Both Red White and Naya Feather have felt very reasonable. I feel like one of the keys to having your deck be good in Pioneer is having good 1-mana plays, and Feather definitely passes that. There's a lot of good 1-mana cards in it. So I could have killed this on my turn to then attack with Murderous Rider, but that's not very useful because we know they have another questing beast in their hand. So by waiting to do it inside of combat, we make it so we don't take hit for 4 this turn. That was not the land I wanted for Christmas, chat. Did they shock there so they could play? They have Embercleave? Sure. Weird, but okay. So we're taking 5 here down to 7. Harpooner's a good one to get rid of. So Rider trades with the Cleaved Elf, Bolas trades with Questing Beast, and then Bonecrusher Giant cleans up their other one. Wow, just no attacks, huh? That seems great for me. Destroying artifacts is great, chat. Bolas on an almost empty board seems great.
Witness a mote of my power.
Witness the mote of my power. What do you think, chat? Concession Massacre Girl? Feels like a Concession Massacre Girl. This card's real good. Just like the Bolas takes their 4th land away here, too. Did we just 2-0 Girl? I think we just 2-0'd Girl. To set a low bar, I think this is the best Grixis deck we've played this week. To set an incredibly low standard of... You can always find my thoughts on whatever bans happen weekly on Tuesday by typing !bans in chat the next day. The bar is on the floor. You're not wrong. Here I go, don't you? You mean you don't already have all these bad Grixis cards? I feel like if you've been here a while, you've probably been tricked into buying a lot of these bad Grixis cards before. This Grixis deck isn't making me feel bad. That's my Grixis bar. It's funny because it's sad. Who's got 2 thumbs and is ready to get destroyed by an Adanto Vanguard? This guy right here. Ooh, vampires. The fact that I had to take 4 from my lands here kind of sucks, though. Can we bump Naya Fires? Yeah, definitely, Alkali. I think I'm going to keep this. That means I don't have a play next turn, but 4-5 should be real good here. Speaking of the next set dropping, I see people discussing wildcard uses in chat. Remember, if you have a deck idea that you can't quite flesh out yourself, or maybe something you want to see played before you invest your valuable wildcards in it, deck submissions are open for cards with the new set, both build around and specific deck lists. So it is $10 for a subscriber to submit a deck list to the deck queue. It is $25 for build arounds. This is the type of draw that lets us beat this Adanto Vanguard, huh? Can actually just pressure them out of the game. Maybe this attack was bad. So this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm one short. That's super unfortunate. Let's do this to start. My coworkers and I held an Oathbreaker tournament over the weekend. We banned Oko ahead of time. Guessed the winning deck, Nissa who shakes the world. Yep. She's fair and reasonable. Oh. Man, this is another matchup where Massacre Girl's gonna be aces, huh? That card's real good. I feel like that's a card that could probably be explored in black decks and Pioneer a little bit more. Feel like this is a like black mid-range / control. Should probably explore playing some more of that card. I don't think I want Noxious Grasp in this matchup, huh? Feel like they probably don't have quite enough white cards for that to be good. Oathbreaker is a variation of Commander, from my understanding. This is 10 5-drops. Probably just cut Thought Erasure here. Man. Oh. You know what the difference is between present Jeff and past Jeff, chat? Past Jeff would spend time to bicker with the idiot that just told me Stoneforge Mystic dominated Modern after it got unbanned, and present Jeff just clicks the block button and moves on with his day. Present, be like present Jeff. He's a lot smarter than past Jeff was. I had to mulligan here, but our 5's pretty good. That's an excellent draw. Looking for some lands. I'm taking their Bonecrusher Giant. Just crush all the vampire bones here. What multiverse are they from? Probably one where they think Donald Trump's a reasonable human being. One where they're delusional. I think I just shocked this in. It's a little bit worrisome with how much pressure this is going to put on me, but using Stomp this turn means I can Stomp plus Shock next turn. That's a really good start for them. So the problem here is if I kill this, yeah, I have to. They're going to get to level up their Knight of the Ebon Legion still, though, which means I can't shock that anymore. So I'm going to take exactly 4. Maybe I was supposed to kill this before I let this come into play. Yeah, sometimes I like to think, Tumos, that there's an alternative happy timeline where, like, Gore gets elected over Bush and they address climate change while I'm still a child and we still have a really good chance to, like, actually address things. And everything just ends up happier. It's a fun daydream. We're just dead, right? Massacre Girl is good here, but we're just gonna die to these before we get to it, I think. I guess if they don't have another removal spell, we could draw lands and stabilize. Hey, Voladine, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. You're having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you're at. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. You're giving me anxiety. Lands in my Grixis deck is a tall order. You're not wrong. Massacre Girls and Honorary Dragon. Yeah, the spells we had were really nice if we could have cast them. Listen, chat, I'm not certain of a lot of things, but I am certain that the earth is round, climate change is real, and the shuffler is rigged against me. All of these things are like undisputably true. All right, I put deep faith in this hand that we could draw running lands. It's probably faith that's misplaced. The old post-combat lord that won't matter. Poker face, poker face. My. Oh, feels magic, man. Yeah, almost assuredly, Android. They're not stupid, they're just greedy. And they understand that they can get what they want and make more profit by pandering to people who are actually stupid. That's true. A lot of them will be moved on by then. They just don't care about who they're leaving behind. I'm glad this is happening, not to see you lose, but to remind us what Grixis really is. We've peeled back the facade. Unfortunately, this Thought Erasure doesn't really break up their curve, because even if I take the Jade Light, they get to just fart this next turn. So hopefully they're going to play Jade Light instead of activating this, and then we can shock this before it goes off. Yeah, opponent played this well. Some politicians are in it for themselves. There's other people who have very good records that speak for themselves, that are very clearly in it for more than just themselves, but definitely a lot of greedy people in the world. All right, so my first Bolas is trading with this. So I think I want a second one here. If they play Jade Light, we'll shock Jade Light. If they go land Heart's Desire Lovestruck Beast, we'll shock the 1/1. Oh, that could have gone better. I guess my dragon keeps this at bay, so I still get to trade next turn. I'm gonna get 2 cards out of their hand, right? Easy trade here. That's true. At least our Thought Erasure is used, because they now have Hexproof. Alright, well, they're on empty, but they have a 5/5 I can't interact with, which sucks. No blocks. Down to 7. Oh, vomit. We're losing to green-white fair cards, chat. Why are we dying to green-white fair cards? Massacre Girl's on the board, unfortunately. Kill target card in their deck. Noxious Grasp. Sign me up. Ritual's probably good for cleaning up Growth Chamber. Maybe Massacre Girl isn't good enough here. You can pump a lot of their stuff. I don't think I want Aether Gust. They have some green stuff, but they're not all green. Can't keep a hand that does nothing till 5. Yeah, this is fine. Not super exciting, but definitely passable on the play. What does gold token refer to in the new set? We don't know, right? Actually saw that the other day. What is, did they spoil what a gold token is? I didn't see that. Treasure that does not tap to sack. So just like sacks to make a mana. Like, squeeze me, chat. Alright, so we'll Rider Jade Light, and then we can play Nicol Bolas next turn. Alright, please don't Nullhide Ferox me. All right, phew. Fungal GG, thanks for the absurd tip, I appreciate that. Ooh, where's my dashboard? For Jeskai, Indomitable Control, sounds fantastic.
I am Scala's vengeance, and I'm coming for you next. This will be fun.
I'm gonna trade here. I think I just need to get rid of that. Let's get the devil out of Vivian here. They have 4 cards left. Well, remember to give Peso Bucks again to celebrate terrible Grixis. Thanks for re-upping, Ulran. I appreciate the 4 months there. Alright, untapped land, please, so we can slam this and take her off the table, huh? Well, I'm not sure how we beat that one. I guess we just, like, if they miss a land this turn, we can put blockers out. They didn't have a 6th land last turn, right? Alright, no 6 lands to start. Yes, standard decks with new cards are open for submission. Get him in while the getting is good. With the historic queue kind of small, if we did a deck submission, would it get played this week? I never make guarantees like that. I am planning to do 4 more historic decks this week. So planning to do 2 tomorrow and 2 Thursday. And if there's not decks in the queue, I'll pick some of my favorites to fill in there. Also planning to do historic next week as well, before the set release. Yeah, the Harpooner was pretty backbreaking there. We're probably dead at this point, huh? Hey, Swaglyph. Thanks for the half a year. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I guess Dragon kind of keeps the 4/4s at bay. And then, like, the Riders kind of keep Carnage Tyrant. Kind of, not really. That is actually an incredibly good draw because it deals 2 damage to every attacking creature, which means just Hellkite trades with Carnage Tyrant. Yeah, I'm a realist. I don't think I have any historic submissions people submitted waiting to donate for. I have one in the queue that I approved that hasn't come in yet as a donation. So, probably dead to that. This lets Carnage Tyrant kill the Skarrgan Hellkite, and then I can no longer... I guess I can double block the Tyrant. I guess.
We're gonna tear you.
Do you think enchantments on Theros are a conspiracy to keep honest Grixis players down? I actually think Ashiok will be a big boon to decks like this. Well, believe it or not, chat, we played a Grixis deck and we ended up winning just as much as we lost with it. Maybe a little bit more. I forget, we might have lost 1 or 2 while we were sitting on the rank floor, but we started on the Diamond 4 rank floor, and we ended on the Diamond 4 rank floor. I don't know. I just feel like these colors, like, both lack the tools to be sufficiently proactive in this format, while also lacking the ability to be sufficiently controlling. Like, I feel like the type of card this deck would need to be competitive, actually, this could be a card I could see them realistically giving us in a historic anthologies. If they printed Crux of Fate into this format, I think a deck like this is probably worth exploring. But without a better sweeper, I feel like there's just not a compelling reason to play Grixis over Esper. Crux of Fate, for people who are newer, is a 5-mana sweeper that either destroys all dragons or destroys all non-dragons for 3 black. All right, what are we doing? We're going to take a quick ad break while I get set up for the next deck. And when we get back, we are going to play some Jeskai Fires here in Historic. So you get a little bit better mana and Lyra and some sideboard cards here by going into Historic. So back in a few, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Get you later, Tuna. Thanks for the support.